Okay, on today's Shots from the Winchester, we've got a great show for you guys. We are doing our first holiday gift exchange here on the podcast. We've also got some great tips to help you manage your teams or your projects during those slower winter months, and it's all brought to you by Greencastle Consulting. Here we go.
Take PTO.
Flip it.
No, don't worry.
That's my solution. We're going to talk about my solution. Okay, yeah, so hey, welcome back. Another episode of Shots from the Winchester. We've got co-hosts Lindsay and Erica, and now friend of the podcast, Mike. Mike, you got to do a couple, and you get upgraded to co-host. So by probably and next month you'll be on the co-host train with Lindsay and Erica.
Thank you for being out.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So it's a great. Lindsay mentioned it in the last episode, but if you have noticed, Al is not in his typical seat. Al is now a father, so he's enjoying some time off. Hopefully, getting a little bit of sleep. But
good luck.
Yeah.
He's in the seat of fatherhood.
That's true. He's in the seat of fatherhood. That is a good disclaimer too. If anything goes wrong with this episode, video, audio-wise, it is not my fault. Al is the pro.
Exact opposite. It is your fault.
Yeah, Al is the pro. We're doing the best we can, so bear with us if I'm out of focus or there's a
bad comments. Keep it to yourself.
Yes, yeah, or
or not
engagement. So anyway, for the listeners, we decided we're gonna do a little holiday fun. We did a little Secret Santa. So we drew names of the four of us. Nobody knows who got who, I don't think.
What if they all said the same name?
That's
what if
true.
RJ just put his name in for like?
I could have had so much fun.
So many gifts. Another one?
For me.
I guess we're about
You guys
to
clear it out.
I'll go first.
Because they're all for you.
Okay.
They are not all for me.
Surprise!
So
You want to explain, like you said to me, you said like you went into the store and it was like 2 seconds,
yes.
and it was like divine intervention or something?
Yeah, so that's a good point Mike brought up. So just for everyone's, they see us open these gifts and they're like, wow, what a lame gift someone got them. We set a $5 limit from Goodwill. So or wherever thrifted it or wherever you got it from. I feel like $5 is like in the Goodwill territory.
She went on Amazon.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Someone's got a keychain.
She definitely did.
But I walked into the Paoli Goodwill, and I swear, within like 10 feet of entering the store, I found the first half of the gift. And then, like, typically, in like the Goodwill stores, there's like those rows of like trinkets, and you just have to like look through all of them. I swear, the first thing I picked up, it was made for this person. So yeah, I was really excited. Total came to $501 with tax, so I am over the limit. But I don't know. This is a not-for-profit podcast, so we're good. So.
Yay!
All right.
This one's for Mike.
Yeah, it is a two-parter in there.
All right. That's right on the floor.
One is fragile.
Beautiful, beautifully wrapped.
Yes.
Oh, it is.
Oh, I thought there was something else in there.
The world's greatest golfer. Thank you. That's a lie. But thank you.
Wait,
Mike?
turn around. I want to see.
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, some context. Mike is by far the best golfer on our team.
Oh, yeah.
So, I couldn't find...
You should have scratched out teams.
And then, so some explanation here. Mike has been very... I don't know if you have. I haven't checked in with you since the weekend, but it's been hard at work trying to catch a deer.
Yes.
So in the event that it doesn't work out, I got you one.
Thank you.
It's cute.
6-pointer.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, probably can't shoot a reindeer, but
I mean,
probably not. But
that's for you.
Thank you.
I hope you enjoy it.
I will enjoy this. Thank you.
I love that.
That's awesome.
What a great gift. Goodwill.
Yeah.
Love it.
Who's going next?
Okay. What are we doing next?
We can do mine.
This one?
Oh.
Okay. Yes.
Perfectly wrapped.
It is very well wrapped.
I did. No, I tore the.
Oh my gosh, with a bow.
This one's for Lindsay.
Oh,
and
bow.
It's a live chicken.
Is this about to be the iPod Nano, like Mike Scott moment?
No, I've finished my last year's wrapping paper with it fit perfectly. So
Nice.
now I have to go buy more this year, but.
Lindsay didn't merit new wrapping paper?
No,
I'll
sorry.
remember that.
She likes vintage things.
That's true. Okay.
That is true, I do like
Spin
it.
zone? Mike
Yeah.
the spin zone.
Wow, good
Yes.
job. Yeah,
Yeah.
this is beautiful, okay. Does anything say anything here?
No, it
Oh,
just.
it just says my name.
Yeah.
Okay,
just
that's
because
good, just in
people
case you forgot.
To spell
Alright,
correctly.
Hopefully.
this is like my, not phobia, but opening gifts in front of people, let alone like whoever's
Just
watching.
You're afraid of like hating it and showing it on your
You're like,
face.
oh wow, okay,
This is great.
this is perfect. Any explanation before I open this?
No, I just thought you'd
Amazon.
like it.
Good. Good.
And if you don't like it,
There's a gift receipt.
Please put on a happy face.
She likes it.
Ew.
I guess the explanation is it's from like it's a local shop.
Wow.
So shop small, plants make me happy.
That is
That-
cute.
I love it.
Lindsay has a collection.
Sure
Like,
do.
When
forest?
Lindsay first started working here, we all have to fill out like tell me some things about you. Lindsay's fun fact was you have a lot of plants, like house plants.
Mm-hmm.
And then since then she's grown her garden and has a farm stand now. So yeah.
And
I
she's
love it.
gifted us plants, and no one else upholds this, but you said that if we let it die, we're fired, so.
Yeah.
That is
so
kind of true, yeah.
Mike takes care of
Yeah.
all of our plants.
Your job security is with me, so.
And it's my favorite color, I love green, so thank you, this is perfect.
That's awesome.
Thank you so much.
Okay. All right, gifts. Two good ones.
So, I will say that, I'll give you this one first.
Okay.
Oh.
Thank you.
Now, a little backstory. I pulled Erica's name out of the thing, and I jokingly just rolled my eyes just to like, whatever, and she was like, "You just rolled your eyes at my name?" I was like, no, not at all, but you totally guessed it.
It was okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I like.
This is a massive $5 present. I'm gonna just say that. It's huge.
It's nostalgic too, like it reminds me of the 80s, even though it's like from 2013. And we did
We're not beatboxing, folks.
Sorry.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I have my
Just
Oh my gosh.
don't use the packet
This
in there.
is so
it's like
cool.
all artificial food dyes.
Whoa.
It's a snow cone maker.
It's like-
Oh my god, I don't have one. This
What?
is gonna be so much fun.
I will tell you this. I picked that thing up. I had to open the box just to make sure everything was in there.
Okay,
I just kind of glanced in.
this is so cool.
But on the back of it had tape and like old wrapping paper, so that person opened it and never used it,
That's
obviously.
so cool.
Yeah.
It's a new inbox. It's vintage new inbox. What's the phrase?
2013 is.
New
so-
with tags.
New.
Yeah.
2000. This is from 2013.
Yeah, look at the bottom, like the back or something like that. Somewhere it says
That's-
2013.
Isn't that
Perfect.
funny?
That's-
That's like vintage now.
That's when
Yeah, I know.
I graduated college.
I'm
Sorry.
sick about it, but it is. But
Thank
that's
you,
cute
Mike.
because,
You're welcome.
so RJ made us team shirts that have us as peanut characters in them, so
Yeah,
it like goes along with the whole
Okay, Mike.
It was meant to be.
Yeah.
Wow, and a
So-
two-parter.
I went on the whole store. I started looking at the movies. I couldn't find any movies that like
I had
you
seen.
hadn't seen, and I couldn't remember some of them. So I looped around, and then I stopped by the I don't know drinkware and stuff like that first, and then I came back to the toys and I saw that thing and I was like, yep. And then this was
Great. Oh, thank you.
again
Oh my god.
a little over with tax probably. Like,
Okay.
I don't know.
We'll allow it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we will.
I didn't know if you were counting for tax.
Is it, are those peanuts wrapping paper?
No, I don't
Okay.
think so.
I was like, you are really on brand.
Yeah.
This is so cool. Did you wrap this?
Yes.
I
She's
can't wrap.
really judging me.
No, I can wrap the
That's
boxes. I can't wrap anything that's not like square corners.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, this is yes.
Look inside.
Like, this is perfect. Oh my gosh. All right, it's a huge coffee mug. It says "Running on Coffee and Glitter," and it's blue and gold. And then on the inside it says "Rise and Sparkle."
Oh, wow.
Oh, that's
This
so
is
you.
perfect.
That is not dishwasher safe or obviously microwavable.
Okay.
So just to, I don't want you to light
There's
your
a
house
lot
on
of
fire.
qualifiers with
Thank
this gift.
I mean, I probably would have put it in the microwave.
It's like both of these may cause cancer. They're sick.
This is great. I love how big it is. Like, this is perfect.
I hope it doesn't.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
The snow
Yeah.
cone thing is
Yeah.
insane. That's awesome. I love it.
Yeah,
Your kids are gonna go crazy for
I know.
that.
I know. We don't have one.
So excited.
Just get
All
some
right,
different.
Thank you.
Oh.
mixtures.
Okay.
Put the snow cone in that.
Yes.
That's safe, right?
Yes.
Because like
Yeah, we're
it's
not
cold.
heating
Just
it up
don't
in the
microwave.
microwave.
Don't microwave.
I'll
Just
hand wash it. Yeah.
so the food dye will stay in there and just seep in.
That's amazing.
All right, well, RJ,
Oh,
that's for you.
okay.
And while it looks
All right.
slightly underwhelming,
It's got some weight to it.
Oh,
that's
wow.
the best wrapping that I've ever done, maybe in my life, because I knew Erica was going to look at it.
There are holiday chickens on this, folks. So I just-
Oh, they're not just regular chickens?
No,
We have
there's
Santa hats on there.
Okay, yeah. Holiday. I feel bad ripping this wrapping paper, I'm gonna be honest.
So you want me to tell you the story while
Yes.
you're opening?
Oh, no.
No, you should open it
Okay.
while I do it, 'cause
Alright.
otherwise then I'm gonna.
It will make sense.
So I looked at 3 different Goodwills to find something because I wanted it to be so perfect, and this jumped off the shelf. I was like, this is it.
It's a lie.
And it's not
Jumped off
anything.
the shelf.
It's not anything funny. I was gonna go for like funny, comical, and then I went more for like thoughtful. And RJ's a very careful rapper, so I'm gonna slow my story down here.
I don't wanna break it, it feels very breakable.
It is.
Whoa!
So RJ has a house in North Carolina.
That is
That's
cool.
cute.
And it's like a beach house, and I know in North Carolina they have that lighthouse.
Yeah.
And when I saw that, I was like, "Oh, that is so
This
cool!
is
It's
awesome.
vintage."
It's awesome.
So
This
cool.
is so funny you brought this up. So we obviously we were just at the house. That's the reason we're unfortunately having to film this on a Thursday afternoon. It's my fault, folks. But we were walking yesterday, and they just renovated one of these houses, and they have like the house has a porthole like in the top, and they put a stained glass window in like this. And I was like talking to my wife, was like, that is so cool. I want stained glass so bad. And then I opened this, I was like, whoa.
There it is.
Yeah, this is
You,
awesome.
you
Thank
ask
you.
and you shall receive.
Yeah, seriously, this is
Yeah.
awesome. Thank you.
Yeah.
This is cool.
Alright.
This
That
is so
was
much
fun.
fun.
I
I
know.
know.
No, I don't even want to talk about what's next.
This is better than the business jargon.
Yeah.
Way less pressure. You just, yeah.
We can just do gifts all the time.
Okay.
That's what we'll tell podcast guests.
You
Is
have to
that when
bring
they
it-
come, we give them a gift and we expect one in return. You'll be we'll hang them all up.
Yeah, I like it.
Oh.
Yeah,
Display 'em.
if you're on YouTube, yeah, check it out. No more gray wall behind us. We are the same color now, sort of. Same
Yeah.
color palette.
It's nice.
Yeah, it's an upgrade. But
It is
all
a
right,
big upgrade.
well, I think we all are winners here in this one.
I think so, too.
I'm not going to
I'm
ask
the
for who
the
won.
most-
I mean, I got my first deer.
Mike did get his first beer.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry. I hope that wasn't like salt in the wound. Like you narrowly missed one this weekend or
No,
something.
no, no.
But-
I did go out, but it was a little too cold. I was a little underprepared, and I was like cold to my bones.
Oof.
It took me like hours to warm up.
That's tough.
Yeah,
You needed some coffee
I did. I did.
or hot chocolate or something.
How many references can we get to the gifts throughout the rest of this
Okay.
episode? Let's find out.
We're gonna keep a tally on screen.
Yeah, I should. That's a good graphic.
Would be
The
good.
algorithm loves the graphics, so. But,
Gotta do what the algorithm loves.
I guess in the holiday spirit, right? So like, this is like we work at a business. Like, I guess opening it to the floor. How have you guys seen managing like work, and this is I feel like a very big work-life balance time of the year where folks are there's holiday parties all the time. You're seeing your family. You get Thanksgiving, right? And Christmas and New Year's, so there's a lot of time off. How do you balance like actually getting anything done at work versus like keeping your employees happy? Because like the last thing you want to do is call someone on Christmas Eve and like, hey, I need you to do a thing. So like, what's the balancing act for that look like?
I don't know. I mean,
I thought you were gonna say something. I don't want to. Go ahead.
I mean, I just it's my slow time, so
Yeah.
I have to like not drag things out, but I have to like so I have some kind of steady, consistent work. Otherwise, if I did it all in like the first week, then I wouldn't have anything to do. So
Mm-hmm.
I do like to stay busy, and I don't like to get ahead of myself either. So, but this is my second holiday with the office, and last year I had your approach. I think Lindsay told me like basically like you have to take more time off, and I ended up doing that. But this year it's a lot easier to take that time off because I think I've seen where like the chips have fallen, and I know what's expected of me, and I know what to expect from like as far as like my planning events and stuff like that. So it's a lot easier. Like I've taken off significantly more time this year than last year. But I also do get the holiday like I don't want to work.
The itis.
Yeah, the itis. So that's why I like, I push things, it's like one thing for tomorrow. And I won't do today because I will have something to do tomorrow.
You're saying like take advantage of the idea that it's like a natural ebb and flow. Like you recognize like, hey, there's a time where I'm going to have to come in on a Saturday. It's another time in the year, so like I should. Yeah, Mike alluded to my approach. My approach is that I don't take a lot of. I have PTO anxiety because like I feel like if I'm not on, then there's, something's gonna go wrong on social media. Something's gonna, whatever. It's not. They're not actual problems. I just have anxiety about stuff that's not actually gonna happen.
I mean, I have the same thing with events. Like I don't think I could take off unless it was like some once in a lifetime trip. I don't think I could take off during an event.
Yeah.
I don't think I could.
Definitely don't do that. I don't want to have the pressure of having to cover your job.
Okay.
That's just stressful enough.
Yeah, I guess for context, we're the part of the marketing team, so there is a very busy time of year, right? We all know, like, it's that, like, I don't know, April through October is, like, super hot and heavy, and then at other times are a little bit, like, ramp up, ramp off, so... my biggest thing is, like Mike said, making sure that you guys get your time off. Like, I want that for you. You know what I mean? Like, no matter what, like, so I had a mentor in my career who said, no matter what you're doing, whether it's marketing or any other job, you're not curing cancer. You're not, like, people aren't going to die if you take off work. So, like, we have to, like, kind of put it in that context of, like, no matter what, like, it's important, and what we do at Greencastle is very important, but it's not so important that you can't ever take time off and be with your family, because those times are the times you never get back, right?
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah. I mean, I'm a big, component of, the time is, I have 41 years on this earth, and I will never get any of that back. I can always make more money, I can always, do other things, but I can never get that back, so time is my biggest value. So that's why one of the reasons why I love working here, because, it's adult rules, and as long as you get your job done, things like that.
That's fair. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, it's something like on the consulting side. I know that there were certainly. I guess it's like partly it's just like corporate like hustle culture, where like everyone has to. You don't want to like be the person that's like. Hey, like the thing I wrote on my performance eval is that like all my employees were happy because I actually let them enjoy their time off. It's like everyone wants to be the person that says like I managed to squeeze this last project into Q4 and get it wrapped up by December 20th. But like that mentality where you're like always on and always like, hey, this is the most important thing on the planet, makes it like really hard for a team to stay motivated when like it actually is the most important thing on the planet.
Yeah.
It's like whether it's consulting stuff or like previous jobs, I feel like the most high performing teams I've been a part of have been the ones that are like kind of like what you guys are saying. They're like, there's a big event or a big, to do a big project, they know, and it's like, okay, hey, like I'm here as long as I need to be, and I am bringing like 110% to this, and when it's not that, they are not there. Like it's like, hey, I know I can unplug right now, let's not like pretend and like put up some facade that like, hey, we're all really grinding. It's like, hey, we grind when we need to, and when we don't, we don't.
Yeah.
I feel like that's how I've seen organizations. I should probably take some of my own advice. But as soon as I say,
You're right for an
I just look right at the camera.
I'm talking to you, RJ.
Yeah.
I do think it's really cool though that coming from an active duty background, like everyone, like we could all take off at the same time.
Yeah.
Like no one has to be here to put out a fire or something. Like that was mind blowing to me. My first year here, I was like, oh, so like we don't have to stagger our time off. Like we could all just not be there. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was crazy. So, I mean, different way of life in the military, but that's fun for me.
Yeah, it's the cancer anecdote you use is true. Like, at the end of the day, even like again, it's not to devalue any of the work that like our team does or any of like our clients do. It's just like the reality is that like. A lot of this stuff, you can figure out a way to still accomplish those project goals and not, burn everyone out for the sake of burning them out. And there is something to like what you're saying. It's like a mind shift that has to happen, especially I feel like for a lot of veterans where you're like, what is this
Yeah.
PTO thing?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
Well, I think it's
Yeah.
cultural too, right? So like I came from a global business where like Europeans were like, I'm taking the summer off.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what? And like that's just the way of life, right? So like American culture is like this, like very like work all the time, work as much as you can. Like there's that meme out there that's like gets kidney surgery, you know, a European's like, okay, I'll be back in like 3 months. American is like, I will be online and on Teams within an hour of waking up from anesthesia kind of thing. So like it's kind of like trying to figure out how to navigate that part of it, you know, in a culture that values this like boss babe, boss dude, whatever it's called for a guy, I don't know, but that like go mentality, right?
Yeah.
So
I think one thing that definitely has a really good point of like having to balance different cultures. That's something like in the consulting world specifically, it's difficult because like, you know, we can say what the culture is at Greencastle and you know, tell that to the consultants, but at the end of the day, you know, if you're working for, you know, company X or you're consulting for them, right, you kind of have to put on the team jersey. So like you adopt their culture for all intents and purposes. So if that doesn't match what Greencastle has, now it's like, okay, well, which one do I actually, you know, which one am I
I think
defaulting to?
Some of those people that don't want to be the one who, you know, because then it's like, oh, this person looks like they're always not there.
Right.
They're always taking off. It's like, you know, I mean, whether you know, if they got the job done, great. But even though just not being there, I think is not a good look.
Yeah, it's an uphill battle with consulting too. I feel like just because you're already like, there's folks in the business world that have, you know, like preconceived notions about consultants in general. So it's already uphill sledding in terms of like trying to validate your existence, and like the easy low hanging fruit to like, I'm just slinging them now. The jargon is, you know, if you're not present or you're taking off or you're not aligned with the culture, like it's really easy for someone to devalue the work you're doing and like just point at that and be like, hey, this person's not culture fit for our team. Like we don't want to use them.
Not being a team player.
I think the big thing that like can help with that is just, and it's not just consulting, I guess, it's, you know, any business is like being very organized and being able to like plan out and like work ahead when these times are coming. Like, hey, if I want to be off for those 3 weeks, then I need to have 3 weeks of work done. So like this thing is autonomous without me, or you know, roughly. But you know, if you're gonna just like, oh, hey, I'm gonna disappear and not have to do anything for 3 weeks, like that's probably not gonna end. That's where a lot of the anxiety for me comes from. Is that like things don't stop for 3 weeks? Like I'm gonna come back and then have to make up all that work. But the reality is, I should probably just, you know,
Do
Take
the
time
work.
off.
yeah. I'm working on it. I'm working on it.
it's a balance, right?
Yeah.
Like it's like we're talking about like it's slow time of year for us, and like that's not for everybody. Like not everybody gets slow times a year, or they're different. Like look at like accountants, right, or like people who do taxes. Like they have a very specific on time, right? And so I think I don't know where I was going with that actually. So yeah, that's just noting that
We're just pressuring
Different
RJ to take time off.
Different season for different jobs.
right,
Different
exactly, yeah. So it's not that it's always going to be, oh, you can take off whenever and do whatever. Like there are sacrifices that need to be made at certain points in your career, right? And for certain things like Vet Fest, like you know when you're running Vet Fest, like that, like September is not fun, right?
Yeah.
And like the month before that is not fun. But then you know you have like a December where you're like a little lighter, or like, you know, there's time. I mean, social media is always on, but there are definitely times in marketing where it's like a lot slower. But there are sacrifices that need to be made in other points of the year where we're just like all day working.
Yeah.
Like, you know, our internal events, external events, like that stuff is hard work. So it's that ebb and flow. It's not always like, hey, take off and like you get all the time off and hang out and it's easy and whatever.
I think you just realize what has to get done, and if there's nothing to get done, you just take the opportunities that you have.
I think it's really important too, like what you just said, and I think it's prevalent here across the organization, is like communicating that to your teams. So like if you're in a manager level position, is like, hey, very transparently, like this is a good time to take off. This is a good time to like leave work at 2:00 and take your phone and your laptop with you and be available if I need you. But that also comes with like, there are going to be days where I'm going to call you at 6 p.m. and I expect you to like, you know, have done the adult thing and manage your time effectively, and now you're ready to work and you need to work. So I think like having that like conversation with, whether it's a team you manage or, a whole company, can really help like set the expectation for your team, and then no one can, if they do find themselves at the end of the year and they haven't taken any PTO, they got no one else to blame except themselves at that point. So.
I'm curious from Erica and Mike, your perspective of you have kids, it's the holidays, you're working full time. Like, how do you balance all of that?
I feel like it just becomes in my personal life, a very busy time of year. Because, like, even if things are a little bit slower at work, it's like you want to make the memories. You have, grocery shopping to do or presents to buy or people to see. It just becomes, like, very busy. But now that my daughter's in public school, so, like, they go all the way to the 20th. So I'm like, oh, okay, so I have, like, some time there. But we just, like, and my son's still in daycare, but we just try to make the most of the time we have with them. So, like, they were both home over Thanksgiving week. Like, she was off, and then we just pulled them out of daycare for the week because we had the time together, and it's like, I don't know, just very busy, but it's worth it.
Yeah. I mean, excuse me. We homeschool, so I see my kids all the time, and being here allows me to work a couple days at home. So, I mean, I have like probably the best scenario I could ever ask for. So it does get crazy sometimes, but that's just more of the kid. My youngest didn't take a nap, or what I mean. Like it's nothing too out there that I can't handle. But perfect scenario for my life right now.
It's good. Mike has a performance evaluation coming up, so he's really laying it on. He says, "This is great. My boss is great."
Yeah. It's like I didn't just tell her I was sliding, but yeah, it's just I don't know. I'm sure we all try to like fit in the holidays. The holidays, like let's go see all the lights and go to all the Christmas tree farms and see all the Santas. Or,
yeah. I don't know if you guys deal with it. This is something like I struggled with earlier, I guess. Like more recently, when I more recently got out of the military, it's like kind of subsided a little bit. But like it's definitely when I was in, it's like It's like obviously I have me or my side of the family, my wife's side of the family, and like you're home for a limited period of time, you have a limited amount of time off, and like everyone expects you to be everywhere, right? Like they want you to be at both in-laws' Christmases, and the fact that they're 2 hours away, doesn't necessarily matter. So like it's there's a lot. It piles on very quickly. All of a sudden, you're like, okay, is this really a day off, or like, am I gonna be like in between?
So we used to do all that. Like we used to try to get to like see friends and like family. Like when we would go out for the holidays and stuff like that. And after like 2 or 3 years of trying to do all that, we just stopped.
Yeah.
I was like, no.
Wow.
Like I'm not doing it. Like like there's it goes both ways. Like it is the holidays, but like at the same time, it's like you don't come see me at any other time of the year. You know what I mean? So it's like this is my time.
Your in-laws might be listening.
No presents.
They know who I am.
I thought you were gonna say they know who they are.
Yeah.
I was like,
and they know who they are too.
Yeah. And it's not a negative thing.
No,
it's like you want the time with your family to build your traditions and stuff like that.
Right.
It's a balancing act, and part of me is like, hey, I did miss a lot of holidays, right? Like I was physically incapable of attending a lot of stuff, so like I try to keep that in my head to be like, okay, hey, I'm gonna go, like even if it means I have to drive 2 hours, or I have to can't bring the dog or whatever it is, like I'm gonna go because like I did miss opportunities. I don't know how many more opportunities I have to see these people. So it's like there is that side of it. It's just it's a delicate balancing act when you spend.
Yeah, I have that same mentality. It's just all year round.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just holiday time. Like
that's a good way to approach it.
It's just like, all right, well, here's some time. Like I want to go see my family. All right, we'll take the 1.5-hour drive to Jersey.
Yeah.
So.
Jersey.
I mean, it's great.
Mike and I are the resident Jersey.
I grew up there,
folks.
so I feel like I'm allowed to say it.
Same.
Like I don't know. Like
we were going to debate
years.
pork roll and Taylor ham, but we decided to couch that.
Yeah. You had a very good explanation of it, and I agree.
Leave that for another one.
Yeah.
I think ultimately, like taking care of yourself throughout the year, but especially during the holidays when things are getting crazy, when you're working, when you're doing all this stuff, trying to stay hydrated, do your exercises and everything, like all of these things, like you really have to take some time for yourself too, and just like ground yourself a little bit, like, okay, not that serious, none of it is, you know.
Yeah.
But you have to make all the memories all the time. You have to do everything.
Yeah.
And take pictures of everything.
Yeah.
That's true.
Have a schedule.
Yeah. All right, this might be a hot take or highly contested, so maybe earmuffs for the events guy. But I feel that I'm just kidding. We do a really good job here with Greencastle. I think of like one, setting a culture where like, hey, there are no mandatory like fun days in terms of like you have to be at the Christmas party or the holiday party, but also making the events like, largely thanks to you, like enjoyable for folks. Like they're not like the typical corporate events that you go to where you're like, okay, I have to have like my 2 drinks and like fake laugh about some like, small talk. How
Courtesy
long,
laugh.
like I'm watching the clock, how long do I need to stay to like show face so that the leadership team sees me before I can like quietly disappear and go home. Like I think a lot of folks come to the events that are held here because they like genuinely enjoy them. But Greencastle might be a bad example, but like, have you guys bad experience, good experiences with holiday parties? I know, like for me, the military, they were never good. It was never a good time.
I mean, so I definitely didn't like the the holiday picnic or whatever you want to call it, like holiday. Actually, I didn't mind the December holiday one, but it was like the summertime picnic that the unit always threw. I'd show up, hey, and then I would just like disappear into the woods, and then I just would be gone.
Yeah.
Where's Murray at? I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like I think we do a really good job here, like specifically the way like I think like a lot of the leadership team communicates around this stuff is that like they want you to attend and enjoy it. They don't want you to feel like obligated to attend it. Where I feel like a lot of the time it was like, at least in the Army for me, like I would have like leaders that would like frame it as like, oh, like we're like a family. I'm like, you're not. Like in a snap of the fingers, I would replace you with my actual family. Like
you're not that cool.
Yeah. And I don't think we really do that here. No one really communicates that. Like, hey, like, this is your work family. I'm like, I don't like that. Like that would.
Yeah.
I mean, I enjoy the people I work with.
Yeah.
I don't think there's anyone in the office that I dislike.
Right.
I mean, there's obviously like vibes. Sometimes vibes don't mix. Whatever. It's like not like oil and water, but I don't dislike anybody.
No, I agree with that.
I really enjoy seeing people at the events, and I have got on people. Not got on, but like just been like, hey, noticed you've never come to any events. And so not like I'm gonna do that more now. I think, but like. And I don't need an explanation, especially if it's like it's private or personal.
Mm-hmm.
But like ultimately, it helps like my job. It helps me do a better job. Like you don't want to come to the events because of X, Y, or Z. Well, let me start incorporating some X, Y, or Z if I can, and then maybe you want to come to the events. Because I think that like one of the things that when I came back, ever seen the movie Yes Man with Jim Carrey?
Yeah.
Basically you can't say no. Anything is say yes, which is obviously an extreme. But when I came back from my deployment, I kind of like took that mentality because like you don't know what you're gonna like miss. Like I just wanted to like have opportunities to do things, and it's like, oh hey, someone called me up, oh you want to go do this? I didn't really want to do it. I'm like, all right, let's see what's gonna happen. You know what I mean? And a lot of good things came from that. So not that you need to take that approach, but you don't know what you're missing. Like if you're always at home. I mean, obviously, if you get kids and stuff like that, if you're always at home, like, and you're single, you know what I mean? Like, you know what that feels like.
This is not encouraging anyone to go find love at their or work parties.
No, I'm not encouraging that. Don't do that.
It's bad homework.
Bad homework.
It ends horribly. It's like, why did we make this?
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, you don't know, if you always go home and you always, whatever, you don't know what the event holds.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like, and there could be things that opportunity or conversation sparks up that.
Really advocating for these events.
I know. It's like I plan them.
I do like the one thing you said. Like, it's not about disliking anyone at work. Like, I genuinely enjoy like working
Yeah.
with all of you, with like everyone here at Greencastle, like it's not just something I say for
On a
class or whatever.
podcast.
Yeah, like it genuinely, it's one of the easiest places to work because everyone is, for the most part, 99% of the time, very pleasant.
Right.
But I would be a liar if I said that, like, if I had the choice between coming to work and, like, hanging at the beach with my wife and my dog, like, I'm picking the beach and the dog all day.
I would probably also
Yes.
make that choice.
Yeah.
With his wife and his dog at the beach.
Like,
Okay.
First coming to work.
he's a
you
great
know?
dog, and she's very fun.
Can I bring my kids and my husband?
I think that's.
We'll just all go
that's
work at the beach.
That's
There
fair.
you go.
That's fair.
I think
like it.
that's a problem
Approved.
solved. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Check that box. I mean, trips to Florida are not that expensive.
That's true.
Spirit Airline,
Okay.
$100.
Yeah.
Find a client in Florida.
Let's go.
There you go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Noted.
Yeah. We are going to be doing a New Year's resolution, so we won't touch that. We're going to be doing a whole
Mm.
podcast on those. But any holiday wishes for anyone you want to shout out or audience?
I just want everybody to be healthy and safe,
Yeah.
like that. I know that's like cliche because you hear that all the time, but truthfully, like health is wealth. So like that's like my biggest wish is that everybody stays healthy and has a safe holiday, gets to spend time with their family, and yeah.
You focus on the things that they actually need. You know, not just want.
On the healthy side, we are throwing out all of our non-stick pans. My
There you
wife sent
go.
me a link for some
I need that link.
okay.
You gotta
Yeah.
get some cast iron.
Cast iron.
We use a lot of cast iron.
Yeah.
It's there's a learning curve for one of us.
You.
It's not me. It really put me in a corner there.
Sorry.
No, I'm just kidding.
I mean,
It's a
I was
call.
hoping it was gonna be you.
No. I will say there is some difficulty. I still can't do eggs very reliably on a cast iron, so I'm still mastering that. But yeah, it is easy to cook on a non-stick. It is it's probably not
What
great.
kind of spatula you got? Is it
What kind of
plastic?
spatula?
Metal.
On the cast iron, I use like a wood one, or I'll use like a fork or a spoon or whatever I've got going on.
If you get a metal spatula, you'd be right.
But like metal on non-stick, and I don't even know where this podcast is going now. Metal on non-stick is just like always scratch it up.
Yeah,
so like
yeah.
we would never use that. But,
You got Mike and I here. You
Yeah.
don't want to go there.
yeah, I just like threw that bait out there. It's like chum.
Part 2, yeah.
Part 2.
Yeah. This is the other podcast we do, guys. The aliens and the
It's
tinfoil.
called Health and Wealth.
Yeah. Don't eat the dye in your taco machine.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Just look
Can
at
I
the
eat this?
ingredients.
Is this
What?
food safe? No.
I mean,
How old do you think that is?
I don't know. I'm gonna have to do some research, but yeah. I'll send a happy holidays to all the listeners. Thanks for tuning in. If you're out there, it does help. Like, comment, subscribe. It does help. It's free. Grows the channel. Lets us put out more content. Obviously,
hug.
happy holidays to my wife, to Tex, to my family.
Happy holidays, everyone.
Yes.
All right. We'll see you on the next episode. Stay tuned. Bye.
Merry
Cheers.
Chrysler.